Welcome, everyone. It's our first Kaldheim chat gauntlet. I will be battling our viewers today over at mtgadraft.herokuapp.com. Instead of drafting on the MTGA client, then we will export our decks over to MTGA and use the friend challenge system to battle each other. It's going to require a lot of wildcards today, since this is really first Friday of the new set, so most of us don't have a ton of cards in it yet. But a lot of us participating today would spend our wild cards on Kaldheim anyway, and we have enough to cover any decks we're going to do. I have on my main account, I only have 11 commons left, but that's because I crafted a whole ton of Kaldheim commons. So hopefully I'll have them. If not, I might have to use a side account, or because I don't have the common wild cards of all things. But that's funny, but the way it goes, we'll see. I think it'll be fine either way. I'm really looking forward to this. For those of you who have not attended one of these live or checking it out on YouTube for the first time, Chat Gauntlet is when I play viewers instead of playing randos. And one of the really nice things about it is that we get to draft and play in pod, which is not something you can do on Arena outside within the client. You basically need a third-party tool like MTGA Draft in order to pull it off. But it's adds some layers to the whole experience, especially the draft. When I'm drafting on Arena and I know I'm not particularly expected to play anybody I'm drafting with, I don't hate draft at all, really. It's like, whatever, take it. Okay, I'm not in red. That's a bomb, but you kill somebody else with it, right? Now, I'm playing against the people I'm drafting with, and I'm playing against all 7, right? There's nobody I'm dodging. So suddenly hate drafting in this format becomes a little more important. Not that I would advocate like doing it incorrectly, but there are much better reasons to snag a powerful card from an opponent when there's not much for you here. So I'm going to keep that in mind too. We have noticed this format. We were chatting before I hopped on to start the video, and most of us are experiencing a heavy factor of 3+ color base green snow decks, and trying to figure out if that's because it's the thing to do, it's the most powerful thing to do, or is it just the most tempting? Are we just falling into it because I was hypothesizing that even just the visual nature of the frames could make those cards seem more appealing? But I keep falling into it because it just seems so powerful. You just read these snow cards and you're like, oh, if I can get that going, that's really great. Of course, to get it going, you have to draft basic lands, which every time I do, I just feel like, okay, here's the cost of the snow deck. Like, I cannot believe that I'm passing playables to take literally a swamp. Literally a swamp. But in this case, suddenly you need to take these swamps because they're extra special ones that do the thing, right? So we'll see how many of us fall into the snow trap today. Any crevasses waiting for us on the mountaintop? We'll find out. I'm going to keep it open. I'm totally willing to get into snow. I'm totally willing to try and ignore it here. If I kind of want to, not to tip my hand to my fellow drafters here, although maybe they are. Haj is asking if we hit a snag. No, Haj. I'm just talking. So I'll see. I'm going to keep it open, and I could see myself falling into snow if the rewards are there. But I am very curious to not only try pushing some not snow angles, but to push some more aggressive angles and see if just turning reasonably sized creatures sideways is enough in the format. I don't know if it's enough in the format, but something that's enough for your collection is my sponsor, Card Kingdom. They have enough. They have more than enough. They got everything. Everything that you could realistically want, and anything you desperately want that they don't have yet, you can put in a wish list, and when they get it, they'll let you know. They are purveyors of some of the rarer stuff. I operate in some circles where I'm working on more the collectible angle of Magic. Like, look at this sweet card I got from Card Kingdom through trade. This is a card I picked up from CK recently. It's actually, I traded it, basically traded cards to Card Kingdom, got this for no dollars whatsoever, and then I'm trading this to somebody else for a bunch of other stuff. So Card Kingdom is a central part of how I even operate my side businesses that operate in the secondary market. because their buy prices are so great and their inventory is so great and they're right down the street. So check them out and do it via my panels, via the link in chat, via my YouTube notes. And then they know you got there from here, and it helps keep me on the air. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to hop over to the left monitor now, and we're going to see who's awaiting for us. Bonsai, Math, Media, Hannah, Shen, Scott, and Haj are my opponents today. This is going to be a best of one. That means that we can get everybody playing without it being a 7-hour affair or whatever. So that's the plan. All right, I'm ready to go. Hat's running the show. Let's see if we get a ready check here and see what the packs bring. I'm excited, nervous. Oh, I didn't even mention. Yeah, if of course either me or chat's going to win 4 times this week. But if chat can win 5 or 6 times, we go shopping at the Bling store. And if chat can win 7 times, which they have not managed to do yet, thankfully, well, it's going to cost me control of my hair. So I'm really hoping to maintain. All right, we've got a non-snow gold rare. Let's see what's up with this. Sarulf, Realm Eater, 3 mana, 3/3. Whenever a permanent an opponent controls is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on this. And that's interesting. You don't have to kill it, and it's just a permanent. If your opponent sacrifices a treasure token, they get a +1. This gets a +1/+1 counter. At the beginning of your upkeep, if Sarulf has 1 or more +1/+1 counters on it, you may remove all of them. If you do, exile each other non-land permanent with a converted mana cost less than or equal to the number of counters removed this way. That part is kind of interesting. Maybe that happens, but I kind of feel like this is just a 3/3 that grows for the most part. They do go to the graveyard. Tokens go to the graveyard and then disappear east. So they trigger death. They trigger graveyard triggers, but then they don't stay there. What else is there? Maybe there's just some clean removal we want to take here, like Feed the Serpent, for example. So Struggle for Skemfar looks good too. Snakeskin Veil, upgraded version of that one card that looks pretty good. Elven Bow, also appealing. I like the rare too, but it is gold. And it's really... I just don't know about that second ability. Like, if it didn't have the second ability, how much would you actually like this? If it was only just a 3/3, a hard to cast 3/3 for 3 that grows when something dies, you'd like it a lot. I mean, I'd like it, but it's hard to cast and it's not got trample. It just gets big. For the goldness of it, I think I'm just going to stick with Feed the Serpent. Yeah, black-green, it's not bad. But this is monocolored. Let's keep in mind that I can go a lot of different directions with Feed the Serpent. I really need to be green-black or base green multicolored to do that. Here's Spirit if we wanted to... This pulls you into the snow direction, but Bolt kind of pulls me into a red-black removal direction. I like that. That's certainly not snowy. Not that I need... Again, if this was correct, I should just take it. But I think Demon Bolt is probably just the better pick anyway. Kills this thing. This has been a linchpin card for the snow deck for me, though. The Spirit of the Aldergard is a nice snow card if you're really doing the snow thing. But yeah, we're going to take the Bolt. Move on. Pocket Nebula is back. Welcome. Good to see you again. This doesn't mean we're red-black. It just means we have a nice piece of removal if we end up in red or black. But if we do both, great. Let's see, who's passing to us? Math? I feel like Math is always passing to us. Because he likes to slip into my regular day-to-day drafts, you know, try to time it so he's in the same queue as me, and it often works. I'll end up finishing a draft and he'll swing by and say, "Oh, I think I was cutting you." Like, what? Oh, yeah, you. Provoke the Trolls is more red removal. Dwarven Hammer is a perfectly fine creature / enchantment. Horizon Seeker helps with the... I don't mind one of these in that snow deck since it helps with the fixing. Wither Crown is weaker black removal. I like this better in a controlling deck where I don't care that you have a thing that can still block. I take Dwarven Hammer here as well. Provoke is interesting. It's fine. Really, fundamentally, this is 4-mana deal 3 at instant speed, and that's fine. But we started off with 2 pieces of removal. Let's take a really quality creature, because it is effectively, to me, this is a creature, but then when it dies, it leaves something behind. Leave something behind for the next creature, which is nice. And of course, you can just run this out for 3 if you need to. I can't. I suppose it would happen if we had some early creatures and we just needed to suit them up and we were stuck on land. I suppose you could do it, but you really want to play that on 5 if you can. I suppose if you got like nothing else to do, you might as well. Yeah, red equipment with the red rune is interesting because then you suddenly have relevant hastiness. And yeah, I was talking about the black rune. These runes are these 2-mana enchantments that draw you a card and can enchant any permanent, but they only affect the permanent if it becomes a creature. But that means that or it goes on a creature. Hey, so we're kind of getting paid for our spot. And I want to point out, you know, there were some people who really wanted me to take the rare, and we could have, but if we took the rare, we'd be really conflicted on what direction we were headed here. And now I can take a Vicious Return, and it's not even insane, but we need to build around it a bit. I'm not saying this is like woo, we're doing it. In fact, maybe Augury Raven is just better. Yeah, so I don't want to oversell the quality of this particular saga. It's only medium, but we are in a position to take it, and I mean we could even pass it and try to wheel it, but I think that's a little greedy. It's better than that. I'm just saying it's not a bomb. We're gonna take it. It's not a bomb, but it's Fenrir just wants to try and take the rat and try to wheel it. The rat is what we want to get to work with it, right? I want to play the rat and then on turn 4 sacrifice it to bolt something. But this is the uncommon. I want to be sure I get this. We're going to have hopefully some more shots at Elderfang Disciples and other sacrifice targets. So I'm going to take that because I don't want to miss my chance at it. Firewalker jumps out at me as a great pickup here. Got to watch for our 2s. We don't have anything in 2 yet. There's a Foretell here in Demon Bolt that we can do if we need to, but that's our only possible 2. So just keeping that in mind. My, as usual, mention the 2s at some point. Here, I'll put this here to make myself feel better. Oh, interesting, Timnos. Wither Crowns for Blue-Black Saga. I haven't run the Blue-Black Saga yet because it seems so hard to make work, but I suppose if you have a cooperating opponent, that would be nice. Whew, Runed Crown here, knowing that we were just talking about how red and black both have runes that are pretty nice. We don't have anything to do with it yet, and maybe we should just take the Dwarven Reinforcements. It's got Foretell, and so that would give us a 2, and it helps with kind of a go wide. I think I'm going to be a grown-up and take the Reinforcements. Pablo says spec on the Crown. The thing is, let's say we do find the runes that we want. Like, great. Okay, we passed the Rune Crown. Unfortunately, the runes that we found don't get extra saucy. But if we take the Rune Crown and don't end up with any of those, like we have an unplayable equipment. So I'd rather just take, I think this is going to be pretty good for us. The Dwarven Reinforcements, it does provide a 2. I do want to kind of go aggro here. No, this is about runes, and Wither Crown is not a rune. You're looking at there's probably a type line thing called rune. So anyway, it's reinforcements or crown, and I'm going to take the reinforcements. It's also a color stand. Cut that a little bit. Faceless Haven, snowland of some kind. We're not doing that thing though. Oh, good. I was going to take the mob, but cavalry is exactly what we want here. Yeah, move your foretells to 2 and you'll feel better about your curve. Which one was that? I didn't even see it because I'm so color blinded to black-red right now. Although we haven't had much black past the first feed. Yes, we got a gold black card, but it's possible we're not black. We should keep that in mind. Although here you go, we get a one of these lands. And really, I mean, Iron Verdict still being here is telling. That's a bit of a sign to me. I think Iron Verdict is good. And so is, I mean, Raptor can do some stuff too. So maybe a little bit light. Yeah, we could even take that as a sign. I mean, this is 3 damage to target player. Maybe this Skull Karen isn't even that good. So we could take an Iron Verdict on spec over the land. You want to take Raptor over the Verdict? It's true that we have some equipment and if we do Boros, we kind of want to do equipment-y stuff. Verdict's not a great aggro card, but I think the whole notion of destroying tapped things isn't good in aggro is a little overblown. First, it's an instant speed, so if they have anything that taps for value, you can get it in response. And also, aggro often creates races that matter. So I'm going to take the Verdict as my spec in case we end up white. Code Spell could certainly work in a curve out Boros situation. Infernal Pet could also work in the black-red we have going. I think given the signals we're seeing with the lack of solid black, I'm going to go ahead and take the Code Spell and hedge this again. Yeah, you like the Run Amok. I just don't like a ton of these, but it is totally playable. You're right. I think I'm going to hedge as we try to figure out what we're actually doing, and I don't want a ton of Run Amoks, so I'll pass the Run Amok to try to figure out what deck we actually are here. For 2 spelling, Scorn Effigy. You could do worse than that. Interesting to see a Mists still here. I think that's good. But Scorn Effigy over Vault Robber for me. You like Longboat and Boros aggro? And I'm going to take the Scorn Effigy, but maybe I should try the Longboat. All right, well, a bit of a choice here. Wither Crown is solid removal. Code Spell Cleric gives us 2 to the Boros aggro. I think it's time to go Boros aggro. I think we're pivoting. I'll leave this up though. We could still be black. Let's see what we pack 2, pick 1 will probably tell us a lot. Maybe like if we open some ridiculous black rare, we'll pivot back. Yeah, Pablo, that's why Wither Crown, I don't, it didn't leap out at me as something we really wanted. And then we get a great late pick here in this Raider. We know we're red, and it's a red 2-drop that does this is the Fizzy Wizzy, but without, well, Berserker is a relevant type, but not quite as relevant as Wizard was to Zendikar. It is relevant, but you get what I mean, right, Fenner? Wouldn't you agree that Wizard was more of a thing in Zendikar than Berserker even is here? Don't think we're gonna. Hopefully, we're not playing this particular trick, but I'm gonna take it. We're not playing this, right? This seems just bad. But I don't think we're. Hopefully, we're not playing that. Well, here's another one to hope to not play. Although we could also take this and cut it. Yeah, I'm going to take this because if we're up in the air in white, I don't want any of my opponents to happen to have that aura. And here we go. Here's a black mythic. Let's see what this does. Are we pivoting? Choose a creature type. Return up to 2 creature cards of that type from your graveyard to the battlefield. If this spell was foretold, return all creature cards of that type from your graveyard to the battlefield instead. And it's a 7 mana spell. So for 7 mana, you can do that. I'm almost happy that I can ignore that. We can just go... wow, there's not much else for us, though. There's a Warhorn Blast. There's a Squash. Another Iron Verdict. But I agree it's not fantastic in aggro. I thought it was better in that spot, but yeah, it's true. We can take this as a top end. They tend to wheel. I think I'll take removal and try to wheel the Scald. I don't think anybody's going to be even interested in this. And there's not much else. Yeah, I agree. Squash might be a 5 mana spell here for us, but 5 mana instant deal 6 is playable. Interesting that you want another Verdict when, I don't know, for a little bit more, we can get around the problem that this has. I'm going to take the Squash. And yeah, I expect we can still look for some action there. Giant action, that is. Nico. Cool planes. I've never seen Nico before. I like that. This has got to be the first X Planeswalker, right? X Shard tokens, enchantments with 2, sack, scry, and draw. Okay, so kind of like clue tokens. Yeah, we'll take the Raider. I don't know what kind of boasting we're doing yet, but this is a pretty boastful color pair, right? We'll try and get there in the long run. So let's cut the black and figure we are indeed. Here's the rune we're talking about. Battlefield Raptor, I hope, comes back around. Crush the Weak, I practically want to take so it doesn't get used against us. But I'm going to take Rune of Speed, try to wheel the Raptor, and look for other equipment to put the rune on. Fenner is loving the bird. I get it, but I'm loving the rune. I really like this on equipment. I mean, if you can put it on, if we can get, like, I also want to get some of the cheaper equipment. Basically, I want to try Rune of Speed. I think this works for our deck. So does this, absolutely. And maybe it shouldn't wheel. And maybe this pick is wrong, but I'm going to go with what I want to try here. Rune of Speed. It's my hair on the line anyway, right? No, I didn't take the Rune Crown. My thought there was if we didn't end up with any of these, we had a useless Rune Crown. If we do end up with some of these and don't have the crown, we still have useful Runes of Speed. Hey, on color black, red stuff. Where were you before? You're very late, red, black stuff. All right, what does this even do? Create, okay, so this is the Berserker one. Wow, what do we do? There's Frostbite, though. We just take Frostbite. We know that does it. Frenzied Raider is on point for the white-red plan. Boy, this is heartbreaking after we were on the red-black path. I mean, maybe I should look. We only have these are our only white cards. So actually I should just take this. Glad I looked. I was thinking, you know, in my head we had pivoted to white, but this is not that much better than this plus Bloody Massacre. In fact, it's not. So let's take the Good Rare Saga. Another Rune of Speed, but here's where I think I want Elder Fang. Dusk Wielder would go in this deck as well, but Elder Fang does the Vicious Return thing I'm talking about. If we had found that crown, then I might want all the runes I can get, but I want this Elder Fang here next. Interesting draft. Getting pulled all over the place. Excellent white card incoming, you know it, right? I mean, it doesn't need more than one, but you're not happy. I mean, if you only have one, Mike, then you might draw your rune before your crown, and then your crown is, again, very, very weak. So, I mean, heck, I could run a crown with 0 runes, technically, but doesn't mean it'd be good, right? Elder Fang Disciple number 2 over Village Rites number 1, but I do want to get a Village Rites. And Reinforcements also interesting. I want the sack outlets, though, with the Disciples. I think, you know, we're playing red-black, and red-black loves to sacrifice, and this is just the premier thing to sacrifice. So yeah, I like Berserker Maker, but I'm taking the 2-drop that I like to sack. Put this back in 4s. Maybe we'll actually just hardcast this. I get it. I like those Berserkers, but I'm not going to warp the deck around this that way. When I think synergy with the overall plan of red-black sacking for value is more important than the synergy of one card in the deck. That's where I was thinking. Raise could work for us, though. That's going to get us back multiple Berserkers, right? This is not... We're not drafting on Arena, Palaman, but we're going to play on Arena. We're going to export these decks over to Arena and play. Here we go. Here's a Reinforcements I'll take over a Skull Raid. I'm not saying we're a Steal and Sack. I don't know, maybe somebody else is talking Steal and Sack. I didn't say we're a Steal and Sack deck. I said we have some sack for value going on, and we're in this color pair. I expect to see more. But here is Shackles. We could try it if we're... I mean, in this case, there's the opportunity cost is just a Gold Vein pick. I don't think we want... This is not the equipment we're looking for. So let's take a Shackles and maybe we get there. Electro Brains likes the pick. I don't know. Expensive short sword that sometimes gets a treasure. That doesn't seem right to me. Dusk Wielder, though, we can do that. Avalanche Caller is what we were talking about as a great snow reward. There's some good blue stuff going around. I'm a little worried about that. I mean, this isn't a good pick, so it's fine not to be into it, but I think picking equipment I really don't want in my deck is even worse, that's all. Right now, only the Vicious Return, but I'm hoping to pick up 1 or 2 Village Rites. Cinderheart Giant and Dread Rider, 2 huge creatures that we're probably not playing. I'll I guess Dread Rider is a little better. I mean, Dread Rider is definitely better. This just isn't the deck for either one. I don't think we're going to try to be lower curve than that. Might even not play the squash. I'm going to try and top at 4 and be pretty low to the ground here, but we'll see what the cards bring, of course. Well, here's that Scald we thought would wheel. And here's a pick I could take now if we get desperate. Is there any chance we're pivoting back to white, or are we stuck in black now? I think with the Elder Fangs and everything, I think we're stuck in black now, so I'm going to take the pick. I say I'm stuck in black, and watch, we're just going to open some white bomb in pack 3, and I'm going to be like, okay. But hopefully we don't play this. Hopefully we find better equipment. Another Dusk Wielder I'm in. We're starting to get even on mana, which can be rough. One of the biggest problems with aggro is 2-color aggro is consistent early mana that doesn't enter tapped. I mean, it's just hard. You just don't have it, so it can be tough. Icebreaker Kraken is not for us, but this Frenzied Raider is a fine pick. If nothing else down here is better. Let's check for removal. This Berserker is just okay. I love the Firewalker, but not more so than the Raider. We could take the Craven Hulk, and then we have something that could reduce the cost of Squash. But I still think we just want Frenzied Raider, and we try to make that thing sing. I'm not taking first Amok yet. This is just better. I'm gonna try and wheel that or pick up an Amok later. Here's another Squash. Helm though, here, this is the equipment I wanted. So we're gonna take Tormentor's Helm. Kennel Master is a fine top end, but I don't prioritize 5s super high. It's certainly a good 5, but this is more intrinsic to the deck, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. That's what I'm going to do. It's not that I'm like trying to make this equipment deck. It's that Tormentor's Helm is good in this deck, that's all. Way down, also good. We can take a Shapeshifter and choose Berserker. Probably that, yeah. Axe Guard is nice also, though. But we have actually a lot of 2s now. Our 2s are pretty deep. Let's take the 3. Don't know if we're playing Scorn Effigy. If so, we're probably doing it as a 2. So once again, I mean, this could be a 3. Yeah, Pretender does enable Squash. That's a good point. Still hoping to get that Giant Coward or 2 to throw into the 4 slot and really turn Quash into a highly probable 2-mana spell. Highly probable over the course of a given game, not at any given moment in a given game. Dogged Pursuit could be the type of deck for it, but here's the Village Rites I've been looking for. We're going to take first Village Rites over weaker IGI. But I would play weaker IGI in this, I think. Here's a Dogged Pursuit we could go for. Do you like just the Faithful better? This just feels like it's not... It's a little bit off what we're doing. I will take a Dogged Pursuit here. First Dogged Pursuit. Faithful, just the one toughness. I'm off the one toughness, and this deck doesn't really care. Like, if we care about life gain, then our plan is out the window. If we're in a spot where we care about our life total, like, things have gone horribly wrong. So I don't like taking picks that plan for things going horribly wrong, especially that are as fragile as a 3-1. Death Knell Berserker. I saw, I was just gonna take the Berserker and be fine, but we can take Jarl. We have but it is a Berserker. 2-drop Berserker or Jarl. Jarl is better, but it is not a Berserker. However, we can take Jarl and then try to wheel the Mob or the Berserker. So, might wheel one of these two. But Jarl is good enough to take, I think. It's not you know, we are doing the Berserker thing, but I like a Jarl in this deck. Yeah, we also don't have a black rune, but totally love at some point in this format, we are throwing a black rune on that mob and mowing them down, right? Here's a Berserker for us. Yep. I think we're getting to the point where you don't need this typeless Scorn effigy. Well, I'm at least happy that I managed to, you know, that I'm not just somehow addicted to snow or something, that, like, I managed to not draft snow today. I feel like my last handful of drafts, I've been pulled heavily towards it with really appealing snow payoffs. I saw the Mob, but here's the Berserker that we wanted before. Here's the Helm that I took over the Berserker before. I think we can take the Kennel Master this time. You think? Like our 1/5 drop? Why does the why does the President of Raiders make you want the Mob more, Gadan more? Yeah, I wouldn't mind a second Helm, but I think spreading it around is good. The Boast, you're looking for the Boast. Hey, look, a Craven Hulk, we wanted that. Take that. Good, we had some cuts now. Some real cuts here. Probably cutting the Shackles, although yeah, Shackles can go. That was just a cute idea. Might want to take stuff that's good against us here, like the Kinseekers or the Invoke. I think you're overthinking a little bit, Brunham, because this is a deck that's going to need a lot of 2s. So a bear that might get bigger if we boast at some point is fine with me. Broken Wings hitting equipment mid-combat could be rough. King Harald's Revenge could just end the game, but I'm going to take the reasonable main deck hate that's good against us. Looks like green ended up pretty open here. We'll take a Gladewalker from someone. Ox would be the other hate draft, Jinx, but I'd rather attack into an Ox than into a Gladewalker, because the Ox can't do nothing. The Gladewalker can actually hurt our, can actually trade for our stuff. Take all these Broken Wings, not letting anybody break our wings. Radiantware wants Stroke, but like we barely have 4. Like we want someone to play Stroke against us. All right, the draft is over. We are looking at what we got here. I want to start with just a creature count. Isn't there? I wish it would let me scroll. So this is a 13 creature deck as it is, plus a couple of these reinforcement sorceries. So given that we're aggro, we have 2 reinforcement sorceries and the Dwarven Hammer that can make creatures as well. So we have some room to cut creatures, but mostly I want to try to cut spells here. Yeah, Rune of Speed could go. I think I was trying to make it be a thing and then didn't get there. I kind of want to put it on the Helm, though. It would be a nice combo, but it's maybe a reach. Yeah, we're at 16 creatures with the hammer and the reinforcements, and these create double. But I'm willing to give up the Rune of Speed. I want the raise, I think. We can cut 1 land. So I think this can be a 16 lander, especially best of 1. So really 2 more cuts is what we're looking for here. Not thinking we can cut any 2s. The Dusk Wielders, are we doing this or not? We could just cut these and call it a deck, but then we're down creatures. We're down, are they, I suppose they're Berserkers. No. Oh, they are Berserkers. I think with them being Berserkers, we should play them. I think that puts it over the top. Yeah, they boast and they are Berserkers and they're cheap drops. We'll do it. Yeah, we can cut Dogged Pursuit too. I think it was we tried it out, and it is a weaker IGI that we probably don't need. One more cut. We cut the Squash. We don't have a lot to make it cheap. So maybe we cut the Squash. We don't have 0 giants. We have Craven Hulk, and then I think there's one more. We end up with one more oh yeah, Bloodline Pretender. So we have 2 giants, not 0, but and also again, the floor when you don't have giants is 5 mana, deal 6 at instant speed. Let's not forget that 5 mana, deal 6 instant speed is absolutely a playable card in a deck where you're short on interaction. We're not, though. We have Vicious Return, Feed the Serpent, Demon Bolt, and maybe we are. That's not a ton, Jarl is kind of removal. You gotta cut a reinforcements. I don't like the reinforcements. Put one of them here. Yeah, I like both reinforcements. What would you cut, Fenor? What would your final cut be? squash. You're done with squash. Maybe I'm just supposed to be grown up and cut that. Hulk I like too much as a 4/4, just coming down and closing things out. I really don't want to cut any more creatures. Maybe a reinforcements, but all right, I'll cut a squash, but be a little bit uncertain about it. But well, Hulk could you argue is just medium, whereas again, squash again forget the giant connection. Just pretend this said 5 mana deal 6 instant speed, and then it's just a question of whether we want that or not. And it's not the worst. I'm gonna keep if I'm keeping one, I'm keeping both. I want to try the Dusk Wielder thing. Try to low to the ground aggro here. You might be right, Jinx, but I'm just saying I think people get a little bit too hung up on the giant text and are not assessing it for its floor, which is a perfectly reasonable floor. That's my point. But we can do this. Let's do this. 9/7. I don't know about that. I think I just want 8/8, given the Dusk Wielders. I'm not cutting the rights. It's really great with these disciples and with in response to removal. Hexstar likes the rune. Yeah, that's fair, but Raise is such a nice reload. I'm going to keep the Raise. Let's try this at least, and I can hop back to here. I'm excited to see if I have the cards in this format to craft. Oh, did that not work? Where'd it go? Did it say I was full? Successfully imported. Oh, okay. They're putting it down here now. Got it. I liked it when they were up at the top. Show me the thing I just... Don't make me scroll to the bottom to find the thing I just imported. I want... It's funny, I gotta cut these things I don't want to play. Oh. Stop it. It's saying, come on. I tell you. All right, I'm gonna get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. Now can we craft? Oh, do I have to... Trouble is I ended up in red-black where I didn't craft it yet. All right, fine. Funny. Well, Fenor, that's the first time I've ever even bothered doing it at all. And I was just trying to show chat how to do it, so... There you go. I mean, I just don't even usually do it at all, so... And I'm gonna give back Hannah the land redemption. But this is why I kind of figured we'd wait a week on chat Gauntlet. Darkstar, The only reason this is even a problem for me is because I messed around with crafting commons, and nobody else signs up for it unless they are like me and have lots of stuff to spare. So no biggie. Although this is a problem. Does anybody else have this bug? My decks have disappeared from this particular account, no other account. All right. I think I probably have 4 accounts that we could play this on, but going to the third one now. Yeah, I need to contact them about that. I can, the thing is, the decks are there. Like, I can play standard. I can go and load up all the decks I used to have are there, and I can load them, but I can't interact with them on the deck screen. So to adjust a deck on that account, I have to go in to the play mode, start to play, choose a deck, and then double click the deck in that window to bring it to the edit, and then I can edit within edit within. Let's see. All right, this should be good though. And actually, this is my old paid account. I actually put money into this account way back in the day, and it means there's actually some bling we can use. So some silver linings here. And in fact, I'm not going to do all that persnickety trimming of the sideboard. We'll just do it. And then on the land front, we'll use the OG Avons that I've got in here, because that's always worthwhile. And what are we calling this? We are Berserk. Berserkers are crazy. Maybe we can do something about crazy insane. Crazy good. Do we have 3 of anything? Crazy train. Let's go crazy train and get playing. All right. Here we go. Hair on the line. Scott Martin up first. This is a account I'm probably not buddied with you all on, but if you want to do the work ahead of me, gang, Godot pound 26633 is where we're at. But I'll start adding you all as friends on this account. Plenty of room. Just do this real quick here. Buddy up the competitors. Media, I don't have your numbers in my little list here, so if you can reach out to me, that'd be great. I have Jedi Dawn, but I don't know your pound stuff. Well, Hexstar, don't worry about it. Hexstar says, Ryan, hope you and family are doing well. As an aside, I felt bad. I shipped you that tabletop game, and then there was a pandemic which sort of squashed that idea. Well, not your fault, Hex Dragon. And here's actually what happened with that game. Hex sent me, what is it, a Charterstone? And I lent it to I lent it. I took a bunch of games that I was lending to a friend of mine and their family, and I gave them. I put that one on the list too, and said, "Hey, I'm going to come over. Like, I want to give you this list, give you this game. You can start looking at it, and I'll come over and play it with you all sometime." And then the pandemic happened, and they still have the game, but it's a family of 4 that loves to game Hex. So effectively, we've paid it forward, and my buddy and his family have been enjoying the game. So it's all good. And when the pandemic allows me to play with them, I'll discover it myself. All right, let's... Buddy Jedi, and then, although sometimes this doesn't register the new friends right away. So I've got these outstanding ones. Do we get, really though, I just need Scott, but it doesn't look like Scott has it. So I'm going to quit and come back. Yeah, this just thing doesn't work. I bet you've all accepted and it doesn't work. Like, this is why I say one of the features that I really want them to get back to work on is the friend system. It's clearly bugged. It's clearly clunky. It would be nice to have it work. Hey, look, suddenly all those people that weren't my buddies are now my buddies. Great, let's go. I got some new memes queued up. Duncan and Hat have been busy. Those two are just meme monsters. You should all golf clap, applaud, thank, bow down to Duncan and Hat for all the content they've made for this channel. I feel so lucky. Yeah, we can do a P-par here. And if somebody wants to do the voting, set up a vote, that'd be cool. All right, we got the play and we got an aggro curve out. I love it. Just cavalry here over the Raider. We'll play that later. Raider later. Both Berserkers. Gonna go ahead and just play this Massacre next turn. We'll have 3 Berserkers to trigger with it. And this is us trying to take advantage of dirtling from Oppos. Yeah, we could give the 2/3 Menace haste, but what does that do? It costs us 2 damage to do so. It'd be cute, but we and then just lose a Berserker on defense, so there's no point in doing it. Mike is just trying to... How does it gain us? It gains us 2 damage after it loses us 2 damage. I can't trust Mike on Fridays. That guy is trying to get me. Whew! Nice play. Thankfully, we have 1 left over. I was worried about that one. We get to Foretell and Raider here. Or maybe Foretell here. That's probably better. Then we can potentially raid away a land we draw next. Yeah, we'll swing for a card, see what happens. Yeah, we can just make the 2/1s and then we get some mana next turn. That's fair. Although, what do we do with the mana? And with the extra land we picked up, I like looting. Yeah, I think foretelling... What do you want to foretell? But what, like, yeah, but what does the mana get us? Like, it doesn't even... We're not going to... We're a low-down aggro deck. This mana is just not going to matter. I think we go reinforcements. We can also do this first. We might find something else completely to do. Like, for example, foretell a bolt instead. We could do that. That probably gets us clear. We clear out, you know, we clear the way, but we might, yeah, I'm still on the reinforcements. Mike says for sure. What's your thinking, Mike? Why is this a for sure for you? I mean, I think there's arguments for it. I'm in a spot where I don't know. I'm feeling arbitrary here, and I don't have a good reason. That's true. Extra mana next turn. We can also Jarl and 4-drop, though, next turn. And if we're swinging in, they might block. I'm going to do Jarl. If they kill one of our Berserkers, then this doesn't work out. But if they don't kill our Berserkers, we get reinforcements plus Jarl, or, you know, there's just options here. All right, so that did reduce what we have, but let's see what we get here. So we have 5 mana, and we can go Bloodline Pretender. Jarl is not a Berserker. We definitely want to do the Berserker thing. So probably Bloodline Pretender, foretell reinforcements, and then offer up... Let's play this now, and then we'll offer up the Raider in trade if they want. I couldn't attack first. I had floating mana Radiant Wear. Normally, like, yes, normally that's just a mistake of mine, but in this case, I had to use the floating mana. But often I cast before attacking incorrectly, so a good reminder. It doesn't? Oh, maybe I need to read my cards. Oh yeah, it's rare. Like, I don't expect mana to stick, but when it's rare, it often does. I've been reading like half the cards. That's not bad for me. Jeez. I haven't seen this card. What is this? 4 damage target creature, Planeswalker, blah, 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 blah. Bo1, stop doing that. I was using that. Make sure they don't hose me on the foretelling. Man, I thought we were doing great. Scott has really controlled the board with a sweeper that got a 2-for-1, provoke that kept our mana down, and then a fumarole that grabbed a really nice creature. So Scott's doing the red control thing. Took all of my red stuff. All right, this is all right. Scott being stuck on mana a little bit seems relevant. I assume that snow, green-based snow deck is trying to get a little bigger than Scott is managing here. Both of these operate at instant speed, so... We can cast both before we untap if needed.
All right, everyone, chill.
I'm going to just kill this giant and Jarl it up. Bolt the Berg is very funny. I like that, Pablo. Well played, well played. All right, so we can get this back and this back. So we can get 2 Berserkers back. Nice. And we can also boast. So let's boast like so. No worries, Jinx. We can do it main phase. So I hadn't forgotten. Just I wanted to figure out my math first, because there's a world in which we don't boast because we want to cast a 3-drop instead. Oh, right, it's instant. But if I do this now, I can cast... No, why are we waiting? Are you worried about sweepers or something? You get that if I get these now, I can play this? Red Sweeper is bad. That's true. Yeah, I'm being... There's no point in playing into a sweeper. You're right, gang. All right, I'll wait. They already used a red sweeper. It doesn't mean there couldn't be another one. The reason to not do it that Chad has convinced me of is that this is enough to get Scott dead from 3, barring a sweeper anyway. Like 1 creature, or even a creature and a removal spell, is not enough to get it done. So Scott needs a lot here to even recover from this position. And if he does, it's going to be because there's another one of these lurking in the deck. And if so, we'll be so happy that we didn't throw another creature on the board to die. So in a sense, that is exactly that. It's removal and a creature, but we can still get by it.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
Good logic, chat. Thank you for that thought. Looks like it wouldn't have mattered, but that was the correct line, the correct conservatism in that spot. Oh, I don't think I have swapped this quest. Good. Which meme? The hair toss? I haven't heard about that before, but if anybody else agrees, I'll adjust it. My policy is not to make adjustments to stuff until it's at least seconded. Mathcore J up next. Seconded and thirded. I can touch it down a little bit. Where'd it go? It takes so long to even find anything on here because Hat and Duncan are nutty. And you get free hair tosses because I'm going to adjust the volume here.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. you feeling?
That should be better, right? It's not even in the red. All right, another fine keep. Turn 1, Duskwheeler. Turn 2, Helm equipped. Turn 3, Firewalker. Yes, please. Correct, Julus. Uh-oh, one of these complicated mega cards. Flying, when it deals combat damage to a player, return it to its owner's hand, then scry 2. Is that good? Maybe that's all right. Should we just burn it? I almost don't care. Like, why do we care? I say, Math, attack with your Raven and bounce it. Go ahead. Eventually cast the other side, but we don't care, like, well, that's okay. I think. I haven't read it. Maybe I should read it. All right. Gets +1/+1 for each card in hand and each foretold card you own in exile. Beginning of your end step, choose a card type, then reveal the top 2 cards of your library. Put all cards revealed. Okay, I mean, it's pretty big fill up, but I still think that, I mean, if Math wants to spend their mana cha-chaing this thing in and out of battlefield, in and out of the way, you think Math is going to block? I don't think Math is going to block. Because he knows we have the Jarl. Although we can't cast it yet, so that's fair. Yeah, maybe he will block because we don't have the ability to pop the Jarl. But I also really want to get the Firewalker going. I'm going to make him block, and then I'm going to cast Firewalker. And we still get a damage in, so there's that. I forgot about that, but that's cool. And we could go boast, get a second damage in, and foretell the bolt. But I'm going to stick with the plan. I think getting the Firewalker going here is outstanding. Now, could bolt and get in. But again, no, I don't think so, Jinx. I think I'm still not bolting. Because if they want to block the Firewalker, I get to activate it and we get a free card. You like bolt, swing 5+1? Now, I can't double boast. Well, yeah, we can boast with each of these, yes. Interesting. Everybody's got a lot of different lines they're looking at here. This is what Foretell does, though, by the way. Foretell is a powerful ability, and it's also creating a lot of possible sequencing. So, I'm going to go with my gut, which just says attack like this, and see what Math wants to do. I don't want to play land first because I'm looking to boast the Firewalker. That's kind of the point. But I should do it now in case... there's something we want to do before the end of combat. No. So now we could play cavalry and have village rights up. We could just foretell the bolt. Or yeah, cavalry and boast. Yeah, let's do that. I like that. Although holding up village rights, not the worst in the face of potential removal. So chat wants us to boast for a point of damage. I'm kind of holding up rights for 1 point of Oppo's life. I'm going to hold up rights. It's a narrow one. I'm not sure. But this is a powerful spell to have available in our situation where we're trying to close out with damage. And if math finds removal, we get to turn it into value. I think that's worth a point. And if math goes for the other side of Haka as the play here, I think that's okay too. Yes, that's one big, huge creature, but we have a bolt that's going to be able to probably combine with something to kill it here. Yeah, we'll accept a 2-for-1 to get that thing done. Maybe we'll draw our Jarl, and that'll be the plan. Wow, nice. Reveal the top. Did he scry? Oh yeah, scry 2. So that's fine. I was like, did he get really lucky or was there a scry involved? There was a scry involved. So not really lucky, just a scry involved. Craven Hulk. Pretty big. That'll be useful. We could just even play it and make it haste, but we'll do that next turn, I think. And well, if we get it to live. Oh, I shouldn't have played land if I'm going to potentially boast. But no, you say send Firewalker only. I think we need to send everything, and then we finish off. Oh yeah, because it's the only one with 3. That's true. But I think that's where math ends up having to block. And I also feel like if math goes for a block on the wrong thing, we village rights it. So I'm going to send 4 and hope that math... Also, Firewalker ought to be blocked. It's like generating value. So, yeah, we could move the equip onto the cavalry, but no, I like my plan. I like my plan. I think my plan is good. I think he kind of needs to block the 3 anyway, just so... I'm going to get punished with the land. That's my fault. We should be able to play this, but I played a land main phase and effectively threw away a land. No, math is doing what math has to do. I mean, you got to stop this thing. Again, village rights, more important to me. I bolted the, I did boast the Firewalker. I did not boast the Duskwielder, hoping to keep the village rights. Math is going to take over if we don't get him dead quite soon here. So I'm trying to get aggro, trying to keep swinging. Crossing our fingers. Well, next turn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then is there white here? There's white here. So they are going to be able to white, green, blue, black, red. So these paths are going to go off soon. All right, interesting. Gotta go Craven Hulk. Hold up rights. Make haste. So now we're in a spot where if I had been boasting with this, Math would be dead, but also it means that Math would be have played differently. So, but now, and now I'm gonna keep rights available again. No. Like, I get it, but we're facing World Tree next, and it's gonna throw 2 damage around. He's gonna try to kill the cavalry, and we're gonna village rights to get value out of that. What does that do? Like, we're not... How is that getting him dead? Jinx, you can't do it now because you wish we did it before. We're... For sure, next turn Math is going to fire this off, kill a bear, gain 2 life, add to the... All this stuff is going to happen. So... It doesn't matter. You might wish that we could kill him now, but we can't. So we're not gonna pretend that Math is at 1. We're gonna see that Math is at 3 and do the right thing. But it gets a creature too. It gets a blocker. Nice. And the Raider... Just trying to make sure I can't just win here. It does give him +1. They just on forced blocks. Yeah, we don't. I'm just trying to figure out if there's some magical way we can figure out how to win. But this is going to go off next turn. But hopefully it'll be enough that this won't be enough to save. No, we held up rights and used it, and it was good. I mean, Helm, they can get back to 3, but this is still going to be pretty darn lethal against... this is not killing any of our creatures. They're getting 3 life and a dude, but 2 2/2s and 3 life is not enough. Oh, still got mana. Still got mana. Yeah, great play. Math still has chances here. But we are getting super wide now, so it's going to be extra tough after this play from us, too. And anybody who's like convinced that I 100% should have been boasting the pinger is, I acknowledge it was a reasonable line, but we have to acknowledge results orientation as well and understand that I at least had my reasons for what I was doing. And if, like, it's easy to say, if we had done this, the game would have gone this way. But also, what about the world where we don't hold up the village rights, and as soon as we tap out, math takes out our most important creature for no value, you know? I'm also not trying to absolve myself of possible error by bringing up rot. I'm just saying it's a complicated question with lots of possibilities. There's the stuff that actually happened, the stuff that might have happened, etc. All right, 2 blockers, 4 attackers. Now do we have it? I think we I think we have it. Am I missing something? They block big, and we get in for 4? All right. Sometimes my math is good enough.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
I forgot this too. We're at 2-0 now. I don't know, Jinx. There's still, like, you're saying, Ryan, are you convinced now that spending 1 to deal 1 point of damage is way better than spending 1 to draw a card? And I say, no, I'm not convinced of that. I really like attacking and drawing cards, Jinx. It's awesome. You know what I mean, True. Come on. It is effectively a card draw. Fine, if you want pure accuracy, the chance to draw a card. 1 mana, but really, honestly, True, let's be honest. Fine, True wants honesty. We have a deck that tops out at, we have 1 5-mana spell. Everything else is 4 or less. If we're attacking, if I send in with 4 mana up, it's a draw. It is drawing like a huge percent of the time. But yes, if you want technical accuracy, I can give it. But the point is, no, I'm still not convinced that I should have done anything differently. I'm also not convinced that I should. You know what I'm saying? I'm not convinced either way. Who's next? Shen. Jinx isn't the only one I'm arguing with here, though. There's several who are questioning those plays. And it's good stuff. I think this is a type of sequencing that we're going to be wrestling with throughout this format. No red, but we do have Jarl and Elder Fang, which work nicely together, so I'm going to keep and hope we find our red in time. Works for me. Thank you, deck. We're going to go ahead and... We could start with Jarl, but really I want the Disciple now so that we can start... We can get value out of the Jarl when we attack... Suicide attack the Disciple.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
Have I played with the Cardor yet? I think I drafted it, but didn't ending up never playing it. Well, here's a spot where if we want to truly maximize the curve, we play the hammer, but I don't want to do it. I'd rather just let's foretell the Jarl. Then next turn we're probably playing Enforcements. And then the turn after that, we get to attack in with a bunch of stuff, knowing that anything that blocks, we can Jarl. I was just planning to hard cast this next turn, but I guess it doesn't really matter that way. Like let's say I had done it the other way. If I'd done it the other way, next turn I play the play the Enforcements for 1 in a red, and I foretell the Jarl. So it didn't really matter, I don't think, which is also another thing that's going to happen. I think a lot of times we're going to like talk about our sequencing and then realize with the math of the mana at the end of it that it didn't even matter. Hoping to Jarl with that thing, but I'm also happy to trade it off there, so I'll offer it and then make these. Gonna throw a bolt around. Actually, that's really what we want to do with this anyway, is sack it to the Vicious Return. So we'll see. Yeah, Hammer next turn is looking good as well. Looks like 2 of us ended up Rakdos aggro. Interesting. There was a lot of good stuff that we passed, such as the Cardor here. Wow. Weak crushed. Well, now we're definitely hammering. No hammer time meme at this point. Well, this is the second one we faced or whatever, but I don't know. You can't just go around hating spells. You gotta... Send in. Where's the Vandal?
To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal. Light up a stage and wax a chump like a candle. Dance!
So Shen's taken 5. I'm not sure we want to give a lot of action to this Firewalker. We could Vicious Return, sacking the token, taking out the Firewalker, and then but then we're discarding next turn. We're just gonna play the Raider. No. Yeah, we have no creatures to get back. That's the thing, right? So, I mean, this wouldn't be a creature to get back, so yeah, Raider equip is good. Let's just do that. I like that. Yeah, you're probably right. At this point, we'll let Firewalker do its value town and try to get get them dead so that the value doesn't matter as much. No, I like the rights. Why didn't we hold up rights so that I could if I'm going to equip this, if I do it next turn, I don't know what I want to do with my mana next turn. But I'm not going to block. That's what I'm saying. But maybe it just doesn't matter. Like, that they're just the same. Maybe just fancy play there on my part. Now I like doing Cardur, sack this, kill that. Sacrifice a creature. Bolt. Yeah, I'm sure that moving the equipment did nothing worthwhile. Whether or not we wanted to flash in the Jarl, certainly holding up village rights would have been better. Yeah, it ended up making it so we could sack the token and not the raider, but we're not even to that chapter yet. I mean, if anything, we can discard the cavalry if we need to. Like, it'll be fine. I don't know why we're worried about getting a creature in the yard by chapter 3. We do have a village right, and we do have a discard clause. But that's the thing. Yeah. Y'all are... Yeah, it's all fine. I don't, no panic here. Let's see if they got a swamp. Oh, they do. So now they've got to use this removal spell, and we get to village rights for value. Discard the land. Although if we keep a land, we can 2-spell this turn. We can still 2-spell with these two, but Craven Hulk plus, like, Raider would be cool. I don't know. Yeah, we can, but we're on... I could discard the Hulk, yes, but we already have something to get back. I don't want to throw a Hulk in the yard just because we can get it back. We can get this back too. We already have something to get back. And if we just play the Hulk now, then that's better than... yeah, maybe dump a better 2/2. I do like... let's do... Cavalry. And we could do the Jarl, but I'm just going to go empty the hand. All right. So with that Raider, let's just get the cavalry. And we have any boasting? No boasting, but we get to Jarl after they've blocked the Raider. Oh yeah, we can suit up. That's a good point. Good point. And we still get the Jarl at that point as well. I kind of forgot I had equipment there for a second. I'm going to even it out so that everything trades if blocked. Like, if we could have gotten the Hulk to 5/5, then maybe that's worth it. But I think we did what we had to do here. Bolt did. All right. Well, everything dies. Which is kind of okay for us. We're gonna. Well, we could. Could play the Raider for no value and then have the Jarl still to flash in if there's a block that we care about. But we can also Jarl for more power if we just do that at end of turn. Yeah. All right, we'll do that. Mike likes the Raider. I don't know. That's the other thing that Jinx mentioned. I do like holding the Raider in case we find a nice land to cycle away with it. It's like drawing a card. But yes, Jarl just has more power, right? But look, it all worked out. Everything happened. I'm gonna go ahead and filter away this mountain before we equip, and let's see what we get. Yeah, interesting that they felt it was too powerful if it did it when it self-died. Maybe. At 2 mana, 3/1, maybe self-dying draw is too powerful. I mean, R&D, you know, they did their testing. I'm sure they were just like, it probably started out without the other. That kind of other is not the kind of thing a designer puts on the card at the beginning. It's the kind of thing a developer puts on at the end. Maybe just thinks the only way to get there is to have some doubling for this. This is cool, though. Now, if we go... We can at least put this on the Jarl, and then the Jarl needs a double block to even... for them to kill it. And I will throw away the Raider if they want to not block to kill the Jarl. The only way this goes badly for us is if they have something in their hand to kill the Jarl, and then they get to eat the Raider for free. But we're going to make them have it. Suit up. Mob. Mobu.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
We're here again, chat. I've started 3-0. How many times have I started 3-0 only to finish 4-3, 3-4, though? It's happened a lot, actually. Let's see if Hannah can keep that train going for chat. The comeback. Good game, Shen. Yeah, sorry, you looked a little color short. Yeah, the dorky creatures and dorky equipment are combining fairly well here. We're going to keep this and rip their hand apart before we find our red. Good times so far. I was feeling pretty confounded by this set last night as I was struggling a bit. Now I feel like I'm a genius, but both of them are lies, right? I'm just early in the format trying to figure stuff out. Sometimes it's working, sometimes it isn't. Yeah, that came up big time yesterday, Throg. Thanks, though. Nice, Mike. Oh, yeah. Someone was having trouble with the reimbursement yesterday. They're probably not still here, but I think I figured out the tricky part of the reimbursement system that sometimes gets people. Let me show you the link. You okay, Hannah? Anyway, here is the link. So if you have an issue that affects your happiness on Arena and you want to let Wizards know about it, you go there. The tricky part is, if you do it as report a bug, it's not going to work. But if you report a problem in your event, it'll work. Oh, here, let's, I'll quit then. Let's see if we can get you back in, Hannah. If it puts me back in, I'll just scoop the game. But it doesn't count. Yeah, let's both restart Hannah and see how it goes. So anyway, just make sure you do report a problem in your event instead of report a bug specifically, or report a bug or submit feedback. Let's see, is Hannah back on yet? Not quite. No problem. But let's see. I don't show you as online. Why don't you give me a challenge? Here's my profile. See, this is what I mean. This buddy system is all screwed up. Panoramic view is online and talking to. Oh, still loading. Okay, I was like, man, you're online, but it's not showing. All right, we'll keep an eye on it. Sorry, Wizards. You're forgiven on this front. This time. You think people undervalue Snow? Maybe some do, which is why I've been able to get snow decks that are loaded with snow duels and stuff. Well, this looks mono, but we're going to keep. Just gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4 on creatures here, probably. Although, let's see, this is this gets rewarded by Boast, but I think I want to play this on turn 4 after we've played the Firewalker. Then we might be able to go Raider, attack with Firewalker, Boast, make a 3/3. But for this turn, we're just gonna play the Cavalry. I guess we can play the Raider now. It's also a 2/2. I just don't want to risk it now. I want to wait until and play it when we can pump it. So yeah, I'll just go Cavalry. Well, we can play the Raider at some point and send away the Dusk Wielder if we can't find our mana. I'm willing to offer Cavalry for the Faithful and then drop the Firewalker. No, I suppose if Hannah doesn't block, we could consider bolting. I figured this would happen, that Hannah would actually trade, figuring that trading off creatures and gaining life against our aggressive deck is probably a good thing, so this is fine. Milling 3, we actually have some graveyard stuff, right? So that could work out if we get our rare. Current plan, unless Hannah comes up with something that straight up eats the Firewalker, is Frenzied Raider first main, attack with Firewalker and Boast. Still the plan, since it trades. Could just bolt the Packmate, but I also... Okay, we've got our land now, so that's interesting. We could Dusk Wielder, bolt the Packmate, and then set up potentially for double Boast next turn off on the Raider. I like that. Mike got there at the same time as me, it looks like, or close to it. Let's do that. Heck of a removal spell to use on a creature that's already gained them value, but this is interesting, at the very least. Problem is we might have to just suicide the Dusk Wielder for this play, but it might be worth it to just move a counter from the Dusk Wielder, you know, a counter. What I mean is, like, move the power of the Dusk Wielder over to the Raider. And it looks like, yeah, it is a free eat. But will Hannah take the free eat of the Dusk Wielder or get rid of the Firewalker value train? Oh, look, they're maybe fighting it. Looks like the Firewalker value train may be derailed before it starts. It's just extra sad. It reminds you that you're falling behind a little bit, basically. Now we have no reason to attack, so yeah, we can go... what about... We can Foretell and Raider, or we can just Hulk. Probably just The trouble with Hulk is that it just trades off with the Death Toucher, but the trouble with Raiders and Reinforcements is that they just are eaten by the Fangbearer. So I guess we got to play the Hulk just to try and trade. That's what I'm going to do. I just don't know what putting anything else on the board does. I mean, Raider, I guess, could get to the big enough where it could trade for the 1/3. But I don't know why I'm putting out a bunch of 2/1s against a 1/3 Death Touch. A 2/4 Death Touch. I mean, the combo here is really Death Touch plus 2 points of power more so than Trample, but all right. Green is going to be a good matchup against us because the beef instantly outclasses everything we're trying to accomplish here. How about Foretell? But I like foretelling things, Mike. Hard casting gives us a chance to block here, but there was a way in which I like disguising the fact that we're going to dump 4 creatures out shortly. That's why. Encouraging the attack, I don't know. If we're not going to block, though, it doesn't matter. And I wasn't going to block there. Holding the land so we can potentially pitch it for the Raiders, and we'll do the double enforcements here. Looks like we're in a pretty terrible spot. What gets us out of this? Oh, I don't have the untapped GG companion in Gauntlet days. Just looking at my deck here. Demon Bolt would clear away a 3/3. Raise the Draugr could get us some action back. Yeah, Raise the Draugr would be good. Yeah, Jarl does some stuff. Well, yeah, Glittering Frost hopefully saves us. I guess we could double block. I don't know how we win this game. I feel like I'm just kind of waiting to die at this point, and I'm not sure what to do about it. If I save the Dusk Wielder, we could get the boast ability going, but the Dusk Wielder gets eaten in that capacity. I'm just going to block. How? I don't understand how they're getting there on poison. Elves you can... Let's see. Elves you control get... Oh, they gain death sets. There we go. And this is an elf too. Gotcha. Now I'm there. But But we have enough to block that that's not going to happen. I mean, I guess if they have a sweeper, sure, but I mean, we do have a lot to block with, so we'll see. Trouble is, our stuff is just smaller. We have these small red-black stuff against big green. One pack mate available for the War Master. And now, do they have it? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so they have the pump. +2/+2 means we need 3 power on anything to kill it. The 1s and 4 on the 2s. So we go boom, 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 boom. And we could put the wielder on here, but it's just going to get eaten, and we're not going to lose to the poison on the pump. So I'm just going to go with this block. Boo! You want to see poison? Okay. Well, trouble is it's a couple attacks away. Make him earn it, though. Haven't done it yet. Haven't done it yet. What's your point? Oh, yeah, it is. Sorry, yeah, the trample, right. Boo, Jet Touch trample. Good job, Hannah. No, Hannah got it. The trample gets it done. Good job, chat.
He's dead, sir.
That man's dead back there.
Must be dead. He was worse than dead. His brain is gone.
No skunk for either side today, and it's happening again. My 3-0 start into the losses. Will Media keep it going? Let's see. It's actually, it may feel weird, Darkstar, but it goes to show that just because a mechanic has been load-bearing in its previous appearances, which is to say, the other times we've seen poison in Magic, it's either been early where it's like, well, it's been load-bearing. It's been a heavy, heavy mechanic whenever we've seen it, right? And here we have this spot where we've got a set that only has one card with poison in it, but really... Pretend that poison didn't even exist. Pretend that that uncommon is the first card ever that had poison on it. It'd still be fine. It's just a magic card that says, here's a thing that's happening. If this happens to you, it's an alternate win con, right? So putting it on a rare means that it's just another mechanic in the set. It's just a little bit weird because it feels so historically load-bearing. And poison is not great, but I like. I think infect was better because infect didn't have you operating on both axes. Infect says instead of damage, deal poison counters, whereas poison is in addition to the damage you're dealing, do this poison thing also. That's rough. But we're going to go with our 2 here. And not attack into there. That's true. Hat points out that, or somebody pointed out, that Duskwielder is an elf, as is the Disciple. So we've been thinking of this as a Berserker thing, but we can also do elves here. Yeah, I'm nervous about this. It's about to get rough for us, I think. Because Media is going to 2-spell here and really clog our board. Okay, whew, only 1. I am getting to the memes when I can, but I'm not going to guarantee Rat Burglar every time a Disciple comes out. It's not even a Rat Burglar. It's just... Anyway, you like swing all because of the potential to raise. Toto, it's doing a job in this deck. This is about, like, it was almost, we almost cut these, but we are triggering off of Boast, we are doing Berserker stuff, and we are doing aggro, get in there with equipment. So they are among the weakest cards in our deck, but we felt at the end of the day they still belonged here. But I'm playing against people who've seen the draft and they know I don't have Run Amok. That's part of just the penalty of the situation. Nonetheless, the raise the Draugr does make me want to go ahead and get somewhat aggro here. They can eat 1, but they can't really do the other, and we can play cards that we would be happy to block the Faithful with. But would you attack? I mean, it's okay to, like, if we send in... But yeah, I guess what are we sending in for? I guess I don't want to send in unless I'm going to boast, and I'm not going to boast, so let's just do 2-spell. Yeah, random opponent might be a better bluff, but not against Jedi, not against Media after they saw me draft. Interesting. I have to let this mountain go because these 2 spells are just too important. And we'll find more land if we don't draw 1 next turn. Took a couple of clerics from Jedi. And Feed the Serpent is an instant, so there's that. Don't know if that means we attack with anything here or what it gets us to attack. I think we just need to kill that spirit or we're going to get overrun by 1/1s. And with the raise, I think you're right. We just send all. And it certainly makes... It's going to make Media feel like, not sure. Should I be blocking? Not sure I should. And do we want to save the cavalry? We could, I think we need to kill the spirit though. So I think we'll just accept that. Yeah, and if we're going to kill the spirit, we should do it now so that the Dusk Wielder lives.
Feed me, Seymour. Feed me all night long.
That one's from Hat. Choose a creature you control. Until your next turn, all damage that would be dealt to creatures you control is dealt to that creature instead. Okay, so that really doesn't do anything. So what's the next chapter? Oh, that's another one. Then, so it's all about setting up this return. And we're going to go with a Massacre, though. Well, I guess we have it. We can get 2 back. Is there a 2-drop we really want to play instead? We could get back Elderfang even. You want both Berserkers? Yeah, it's true. For this, we want the Berserkers, right? Okay. So, yeah, let's do... if we get a land next turn, this can all work out, right? If we get... So, our ideal is that we draw a basic land, and then we bring 2 Berserkers back, and then play one of them now, and then next turn go another Berserker, and then cast this Massacre. So, we'll do that. We don't? Oh, if we get the small ones, sure, we can get... I was thinking of getting big, but you're right. We should get the ones that ensure that we can do that, right? I like it. I was just thinking getting the biggest stuff, but this is even a Berserker. This is the only Berserkers. Never mind. But you know, my heuristic when going into the graveyard is getting the biggest stuff always. So that was where my head was at. Yeah, because I started thinking that I was going to get elves, and then switched to Berserkers. Yeah, the 2/2 is a good point. Like, regardless of the Berserker and the combo with this, we just want to be able to threaten the faithful. And that's true. We could also consider not even blocking if we want to do the Massacre to full effect. Oh yeah, Bad Lotus. We are quite familiar with it. Might as well save 4 here, right? Although if we keep it, it technically triggers this. But it's a couple turns away before it can do that, which seems a little much, because then we have to take this 4, we have to take a couple damage with it, and then we take another damage to get the card. I think that's too much. I could have played a land and boasted, but we have Fizzy Wizzies and, I don't know, 30 life. The 1 point doesn't matter all that much. Whereas if we can get card advantage from a Fizzy and actually control the board, then we're getting somewhere. Nice Jarl. All right, what needs to die? Braggart? Yeah, I suppose that's the grown-up thing. It just feels like we're going to be in trouble if that's our plan, but okay. So if these are lands, and the top 7 cards on Media's library are lands, we're in great shape. Missed a boast? There's no boast here. Oh, boast during the blocks. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I missed a boast. I should have boasted during blocks, during attacks. I keep thinking I'm wanting to boast after combat, if possible, and then I missed a chance there. Well, I missed one. If we were going to play Jarl. Should we do this to get it going? Somebody probably gifted you a sub, Shen. Logan says get it going. Yeah, we're running 16. I think we... It's true we don't want to get it discarded. But what is it doing for... I'm going to take a risk for 1 turn's worth. All right, I'm going to hold it. Still hold sandbagging the land for that Fizzy Wizzy too. There it is, look. I'm going to do this before combat and see what we find. Hey, there's another one of those. Very suspicious, 5 mana and everything, but what can you do? But make Media have some stuff. It is any target, like we could throw a bolt. Fenrir says, now play it. Foil King says, just keep swinging, but maybe you still think we should play this too. Yeah, no, we can play this without bolting, though. We can just skip Chapter 1, start on Chapter 2. I just am wondering if we want to do that, because the bolt is strong, but making them discard is good, too. I'm going to hold 1 more time at least here. Also, I don't think we have any more Fizzy Wizzies. I could play land, because there is some... Why do you want to hold the land? Hold it for the Saga discard. My plan is to have an empty hand on Chapter 2 of the Vicious Return. Like, what? I mean, if we play this land, we are casting everything in our deck. Our hand is going to be empty. Oh, but we draw and then it triggers, though, right? So no matter what, we draw and we don't get a chance. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Right, because I was thinking we would be empty-handed, but we can't be empty-handed at Chapter 2 because it starts at the beginning of main phase, right? So I draw and then immediately discard wherever I drew. So good catch. But let's, I'm going to hold, though. All right. That was real. I'm still going to hold. Although I'm holding now because I'd rather play the Hulk, but I don't want to sack the Hulk, so absolutely we're playing this next turn. You know, Media, there is reasonable and there is unreasonable, and that was not reasonable. Let's get something. Yeah, we got something at least. Now just don't kill our saga, please. I really need Chapter 3 to happen here. All right, first, if we do get a burglar rat, we can kill Media's last card. We can just get our biggest thing, which is the Kennel Master, which will make that indestructible. We could get something that has Boast, so that we can make this Raider bigger. Those are really the only reasonable choices. So I'm thinking it's looking like Kennel Master. So the Raider doesn't do anything as it is, but we could play Hammer and equip it to the Raider. But then we miss the extra, right? We can't both make a dwarf and but there's trouble is, oh, does this have haste? Oh yeah, haste is great. Cool. We'll send both. I didn't realize this got haste. I don't read cards. Why don't you like the send? Well, I'm gonna block. What is it? Unless, yeah, I'm blocking. Nice. Had to do it, but nice. I was suspicious. Didn't seem like Media would just throw away that creature, but we had to block. Flooding out a bit for our aggro deck, but it's not really a real... I mean, we only have 11 cards left in our library, so it's not a flood. I'm not going to give you the meme. We're just getting our average levels in the situation. Yeah, we can equip the Kennel, and then... We can actually... Yeah, if we're going to swing, though, we could attack and then move it. But we gotta send the Raider. Can't wait to lose here. telegraphs that we don't have anything in hand. I didn't want him to double block that turn. Less I. All right, deck, give us something. That'll work. We'll take it. Reset the board here. But now 10 cards left. Yes, that was a humor punt. Might have given him some information there. All right, this is at its worst. Nothing to discard from Oppo, but we do get to hook it up with a hammer, so... Oh, I think that was the killer. This is going to be too good. I don't even know what Media can get back, but Media's going to get something that's going to be too good for us. I'm not even going to look. I'm just going to let Media show us. I mean, at most, there's like a bound in gold in there. Do we need to keep this in case we... Trouble is it can't attack through the 4/4. I think we take one to see if we get... Like, but what can we get? What? I guess there's other equipment. It might attack, though, Fenor. Like, we could draw something that allows this to attack. So I'm going to... decline. I get it. But we gotta hope. I'm gonna do it and hope. And we can at least chump here now. Yeah, the other thing is I guess if we sack it, we go to 1. By not sacking it, we go to 4. So that's better. It trades. That's good. I mean, this isn't a great spot for us, but we're not dead.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
We were looking for you. Turn late. Although I don't think we still could have attacked anyway, so maybe it doesn't matter. Oh, we have removal. Yeah, we could technically deal with the raptor, but we actually have to draw the removal, and that part hasn't happened. Fun game, though. Good job, Media.
Is this a dead man, Doctor? Very dead, Mr. Spock.
It was a spot where I didn't know what was left in our deck, but was going to play as though some of our removal was still there. Well, seems like, do you all plan this? Is this the magic gods at work? Why do I start 3-0 every freaking gauntlet and then have it go 3-3 and then play for my life? It's weird how often this happens. Where are you, Haj? I don't see you. If I 3-4, you win the week. Congratulations, chat. Double Wrath. I'm happy. Look, my Rakdos aggro deck was staring at an opponent at 30 plus life after having been wrathed twice, and we still made a game of it. So I'm going to call that a moral victory. Is Haj around? Haj, where are you, bud? Do I need to restart? Do you need to restart? What's going on? Here's my profile name. Well, might try and restart. We can both do the restart. Usually that makes the buddy system work. I'll send you a request again just in case it helps. Already friends, so it's just a matter of not seeing. There we go. All right, whatever. We got it. We got it. Yeah, if you're not seeing friends that on your list that you expect to be there, one or both of you need to restart. Still around, Haj? Go. Boom. Yeah, we could foretell on 2, which makes this not unacceptable, but probably still not good enough here in a mulligan. Feel like... Question, would limited magic be better if it was just kind of a rule that every deck got 2, basically 2 OG duels? You know, maybe not with mountain type, right? But like literal OG dual lands just to make mana better in limited. I don't know. We got to keep this though. And we are going to pitch, I guess, Elderfang. This is a better card to have black for later. Yeah, I can even, that's the real problem with it, right? Is that it just allows too much for easy splashing. But yeah, you get what I'm at. It's just like, I just don't think it's fun. I think limited, 2-color deck limited would be more fun if the mana was just better for both players, that's all. But we have what we have. It's the system it is. Cavalry first, or we could, let's go reinforcements first, and then if we get no mana, we at least get 2 creatures out of it. Although we do get 2 creatures by going Cavalry Raider as well. It's just, and yeah, and actually we would block a lifelinker, so let's play the Cavalry and be willing to block. Some dumb rare doing dumb rare stuff. And our dumb mana screw doing dumb stuff to us. Now I'm gonna foretell, because if we continue to be stuck, we do want the 2 next turn. But this kind of looks over. Between the mana screw and the lack of any removal to handle what we're seeing up top, it's looking tough for us here. We're supposed to be aggro, Haj. That's us, our job. Right. Magic being magic, I guess. You say it was cut. Is that something from an article that this was moved out of Zendikar, or are you just guessing?
Where are we going? To Neverland. 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 Oh, but Neverland.
Because sometimes they do that. We'll save this for the next one. Oh, you've decided to show up. How okay of you, I guess. Now we got to send in everything, village rights, whatever gets blocked, and then keep them under. And if they don't block, we reduce them to under, and then the Oracle would die anyway. So this is a fine attack. And we can Raider Duskwielder or Bloody Massacre. I think I like Raider Duskwielder here. Get 2 bodies on board. It's the only chance we have. I think we're kind of just dead. What does the Saga do for us? I mean, we get 1 creature out. And then Chapter 2 is bad for us because it just kills us. So I think we just have to do 2 creatures. I mean, this kills us, right? We make a demon, and then if we attack, we die. We could just not attack, but then what are we doing? Then we're definitely losing. I think we're just dead. We're just kind of casting spells till we die here. MP4, as we learned, there's some formats that don't work, but MP4 is good. If you want to reach out with me, I don't just take everything. I have rejected some memes. I have worked with creators on adjusting some other memes. So now we've got to do the swing away, get the life total down, shrink everything, and then vicious to get there. But then we need blockers on the ground. So we still need 2 blockers on the ground. This is just like, I mean, we're so doomed, but I'm still just going to play Magic cards because this is a fun set so far and we're learning stuff, right? Need to send at least 3, and we're going to send Wielder and the 2 tokens. Then we have 2 blockers back. Why not Wielder? It's 20, like we just need to do 1 point, right? I see what you meant though. And then we're gonna do this. technically.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
Except now we're just actually dead. Never mind. Undo the mostly and switch it to actually. Well, we were just never in that one, and that was a bad Magic game. Not all Magic games are good. Often there are some pretty boring non-games where you just get knocked around. Just when you thought I was going to crush the week, here we are again. No, it's not a shopping match. This is just to win. The shopping is off the table for the week. Take your still had all these somewhere else, Haj. Don't want to hear it. Good game, Haj. Well, actually, as I said before you got here, I think, I'll use my line that I say instead of good game most of the time, which is, thanks for the game, Haj. Then we don't have any judgment passed on the quality of that game. But I thank you for it. Bad game, Haj. Bad game. Yeah, after I mulliganed and then got stuck on 2. So that wasn't even a game. It was just us waiting for me to die. I'm going to restart. Probably need Bonsai to restart. That's ridiculous, Haj. Haj pulling off the rare combo off of the only 3 cards in his deck that could even do it? Yeah, that's why... generally, if it was a pretty good game and somebody says good game to me, I will just respond back good game. But if I'm ever feeling like I want to say good game, if I'm ever thinking of initiating a good game, I always try to initiate with thanks for the game. Unless it's somebody I know. This is like good stranger tech. You never know how some opponent at a GP or something is going to react. Now, you, I wished good luck. It was somebody else, Haj. Well, yeah, the flat GG, but I don't think that's what it means, Hat. Come on. Nobody is saying good game after a individual game of Magic because they want to comment on the general quality of the game. They're come on. They're just saying, but they are using their robotic, this is Magic Society's polite button, right? They're just hitting the polite button. But the thing is, it's not even that great. It doesn't even feel that good to the other person. But yeah, right, that's what you're trying to avoid, right? Because if you offer the good game, Krauser, you get in these awkward spots where the other person was like, no, it wasn't. It's like, well, okay, you know what I meant though, right? Like, so that's why. If you just go, well, Johnny, as someone who is a known saline issues on occasion, Johnny says, if people get offended by a winner saying GG, maybe they need help. And maybe they do. But also, if you're the winner, just shut up. Just shut up and let the loser lead. That's what I say. Like, you could make the argument, Johnny, that I should be a better person and not be upset by blah, blah, or whatever. But also, how about just not even make it a thing and just let the loser lead? This is a nice keep. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. I think maybe before you joined up, Hodge. That's my go-to, especially against strangers. Thanks for the match. We're gonna go with we're just gonna go Raider here. No reason to do anything else. We want to get this suited up real quick. We can suit up and foretell if we don't need to bolt something. That also works, Breaker Snap. At the beginning of your upkeep, mill a card. 2 and a black, exile a creature card from your graveyard, draw a card. Okay, so that's a value engine over time, but hopefully we can punish it in the meantime. We could also... I'm gonna go with equip and foretell for now, and then we have. I want to get Elder Fang with Village Rites up when we cast that. So let's. I'm gonna suit up the Raider and foretell. That's my plan. And I'm going to go creature foretell. See if we can get wide against this long game grindy opening card from Bonsai. Mama wins the day. But now I am really interested in seeing Mama's Cabbage Patch dance. Anybody else? Well... let's go, definitely reinforcements, and then no need to equip them now. So then it's Fang, Elder Fang, or Demon Bolt. Yeah, let's do this now. It could matter if we suit up the rat next turn. 3 good attackers into a 2/2. Let's see, is it... I think I have a blurb on. There we go. Let's see. We got a Frenzied Raider. What's this thing? Drog or Necromancer. Some big rare. We're probably going to bolt that. I don't know what it does, but we're probably going to bolt it. If a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, exile that card with an ice counter on it. Instead, you may cast him. Yeah, we're going to kill that thing. And suit up. Could hold the Village Rites, but I'll risk it here. Let's get in. Part of the reason I'm willing to risk this here is that, like, none of these are super important. If they spend a card to kill one of these creatures, that's actually fine with us. Right. Now I'm going to swing in, and they're going to block something with the Icehide Troll, and that's what we're going to Village Rites. Uh-oh, what's coming? Something's happening. Maybe they're just doing that because. But we're going to sack the thing that's getting eaten. And go Bloody Massacre, but we can also go 2 creature ahead of potential Bloody Massacre. I'm going to do that, I think. Let's 2 creature. And especially this one has Boast, so we can actually make the Raider bigger next turn. Draw a land, we can consider these 2. If we don't, we have Equip and Massacre. Well, if we draw a land, we might Raider and pitch the land. Ooh, nice. Eventually. But I think this time we just go... Well, if we go Massacre Helm, we can't boast mid-combat, so we got to decide about that. I think we need to hook up the Helm to the wielder and be prepared to boast with it. Or we could, let's see, we could hook up to the token as well. Maybe we hook up the Dusk Wielder and don't send the token. We can also just do it on the Raider, yeah. Make it a 4/4. But what does that get us? Yeah, let's look. Sorry, I'm also great point. The Troll does become a 4/3 indestructible. So let's rethink. Do we even want to send anything? I think we actually go with Bloody Massacre, suit up, and then next turn we have a really nice attack, right? Yeah. So then we got to decide, where does the Helm go? Should the Helm go on the token or the Dusk Wielder or the Raider? Probably needs to go on something not the Raider, so we spread out our size. Probably needs to go on the Dusk Wielder. Yeah, Helm on Menace is worthwhile. I didn't think about that. Because this came out of nowhere. I was thinking about these other ones, but maybe it was correct to go on there. We can move it if we have the mana, but we'll see. If we get a basic land, we'll probably just kennel it up anyway. You may play target tap. You may play target snow permanent card from your graveyard this turn. If you do, it enters the battlefield tapped. Must be. All right. We're doing some big attacks, though. Not quite what we wanted. But we don't have much to do here besides swing away and draw a bunch of cards, at least. I've had worse turns. Ooh, we're going to get to eat the troll? I don't know if Bonsai saw this or not, but we're going to show him. And then we just win. Because this is any target, right? Whew!
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
Well, just like last week or the week before, or very close to many weeks, 3-0 into 0-3 into rubber match into barely edged out chat on the week. Good game, Bonsai. Thanks for the match, Bonsai, as we were talking about. Pablo's happy. I apparently made Pablo channel points rich. Let's put the final numbers up here. Go to this mode. Let's see. Maybe I'll. What memes didn't I get to today that you all deserve to see? Oh, I probably could have found a spot for this and just didn't. So you definitely get this one. I just kind of forgot this one was around. So we got that one. There's a lot of opportunities for memes here too. I've got a lot of other ideas that I'm going to try and infect into the brains of Hat and Duncan and my son, see what I can get done. This one might be my favorite of Hat's new ones. Maybe Hat's new one. This is good. I'm on to you, Mike. I am on to Mike. Other people could, Mike, but I'm not interested in your 27 synergistic one-drop decks. I'm on to you. Let's see, there's also... Should keep going.
Come on, Berserker, girls think sexy.
My love for you is like a truck berserker.
Could have played that a million times today, but didn't. If I have, I think that's all I got in for right now. There might be some others to add, but if you want to, if you're interested in working on memes, if you want to try your hand, reach out to me. You can. Is my email on a command? Oops, certainly not that command. There we go. If you're interested in producing some memes and you want to work with me on them. I don't have Narfi in, no. Is that your favorite? That one's weird, Hat. What part of your brain triggered Narfi with that little audio moment? That's a little teaser for the rest of you. But I ran out of time this morning. No, nobody has. I don't have it in yet. All right, let's say goodbye to our YouTube friends, but I thought they might like to see the memes, so kept you around, YouTube friends, in case you wanted to catch those fresh memes, freshest memes on the internet right here at Going Optimal. Thank you for hanging out. Another great Gauntlet day because I kept my hair. That's pretty much all I need to have a great Gauntlet day, is that I don't... Although I guess what I need for a great Gauntlet day is to win before, say, Game 4. If I'm 0-3 going into Game 4, then I start to get a little nervous. But good times today, lots of fun. Thank you so much to Hat for coordinating the event this week and most weeks. And thank you so much to all of the participants who took time out of their day to help with my content and join me on stream for some action. And thank you for all the great discussions. I think it's been very interesting to work through the new set with you all, and I love that my chat has such interesting takes and interesting comments and lines as we puzzle through this. This is, I think, we're going to look back at this as the sequencing set. I've made so many sequencing punts, and hopefully we'll tighten up a little bit, but I think we're just going to be sequence punting because there's just a lot of complex sequencing in this one. But I'm liking it so far, but I don't think I've ever hated a set out of the gate. I never know about a set till a little bit longer in, and we see what kind of legs it has. There's something about new Magic card drafting that's like it's always fun. So we'll get to the nitpicky stuff as we learn more about the format, and have a great weekend, YouTube. We'll see you next time.